Good evening, classmates of EDL 567. My name is Selina Riley-Gurganus, and tonight I'd like to respond to the prompt of what I think is the biggest challenge for beginning teachers. And I'll have to agree with Goodwin's article in the ASCD Journal that classroom management tends to be the biggest challenge for beginning teachers. And I think it is typically because of two major factors. One, the structure in the classroom, and then two, the instructional practices that the teacher is using in the classroom that contributes or doesn't contribute to classroom management. So first, I will say structuring the classroom is very important, and structure takes planning time, and structure takes some time in itself in that you are spending time with the students, helping them to understand how to move in and out of the classroom environment, literally coming into the door, what it looks like to get started every day, how bell ringers or warm-ups may work, how students move to certain locations in the classroom for sharpening pencils, to turning in finished work, to asking questions. And those structures and procedures are in place and articulated with students up front and consistently mulled over throughout the year so that students understand the ebb and flow of the class and what's acceptable behavior and what's not acceptable behavior. Secondly, I think instructional practices are important in that you're providing opportunities for students to stay engaged throughout the entire lesson and throughout the entire day. Engagement through collaborative projects, classroom talk activities, where there is not a lot of gap between activities. This takes a great deal of planning. And in my own work with beginning teachers, I often advise them as beginning teachers, they should really overplan their day. And that might seem overwhelming at first, but when you overplan, then you move very seamlessly from one activity to another, and there's not those gaps in the day where the discipline problems can seep through and cause the learning environment to fail or have problems. I tell the teachers not to be too alarmed by overplanning, because really what that does is it sets your day up, the next day up nicely. So the overplanning actually ends up helping you in the end. I do tell the teachers that they may not have to overplan for their entire career in the same way that they do as a beginning teacher, because they don't have a bag of tools that they can use as beginning teachers from their own experiences that they can pull to the table. So they do need to overplan, and they need to anticipate what might happen in the learning environment. And in their planning, they need to address different scenarios where students may or may not be mastering the new concept and anticipate that in the planning process. Once again, this all comes back to challenges that teachers face in their beginning years. And classroom management is typically handled when there is a classroom where structure is provided and that the teacher has done adequate planning with instructional practices where there are no gaps during the day or lesson where discipline problems can occur. I hope this has been helpful, and I appreciate the opportunity for any feedback that you may give me. Have a good evening.